What is the next big move that you expect the government to make in this very unexpected result of the election?
Yes, first of all, it is a huge result and a huge surprise. I think the next challenge will be appointing the full cabinet, because it was noticeable when Prime Minister Mahathir appointed 3 instead of 10 of the ministers he'd promised. The Deputy Prime Minister and wife of Anwar Ibrahim wasn't there, and she's the head of the largest party in the coalition. So it looks like intra-party tensions within the coalition, not surprising at this early stage, will be something we should keep an eye on.
Does that not mean that it's going to be very difficult to get any of these policy changes that were campaign promises? You know, a lot of the policy changes were campaign promises. It's going to get a lot of those changes actually made if you don't have a unified party.
And the other big question is if and when will Prime Minister Mahathir at the moment step aside for Anwar Ibrahim, which he promised. So as long as Prime Minister Mahathir at the moment is kind of an interim prime minister. And some of the economic changes they made, they're campaigning for a historic win, are quite populist and very hard to manage in a fiscally sustainable way, getting rid of the GST, reappointing or restarting up oil subsidies when the price of oil is $70 a barrel or more. So some big questions, but as always, you run to win and then you change to govern.
So when do you think this transition, this handover will be Mahathir to Anwar? And 2, do you actually think it's going to happen? Because, you know, it's going to involve a royal pardon from the Agong, the king, right? They're supposed to be meeting and deciding on that tomorrow.
Yeah, and then there has to be a by-election, and Anwar's wife has already indicated she would step down so he could run in her seat. But for Prime Minister Mahathir to step aside for a former rival would be a very un-Mahathir-like move. I remember in Australia for a long time, Prime Minister Howard had promised Finance Minister Costello that he would step aside at some point for generational change, and never did. But again, Anwar's party, PKR, is the largest in the coalition, so Mahathir needs Anwar's continued support.
Vice versa as well, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they need to keep each other sort of on side.
Despite the fact of their long and rather tortured history together. So yes, back to the future.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.